Welcome back, welcome back. We should have a jingle.
No.
Should we get a jingle? Well, you know that Mace song? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You can keep that in if you want. Go on, Leah, I'm hanging here. What's going on?
I can't take your jingle seriously.
That's a good jingle. You missed the timing. What was this?
Oh, God, I can't.
Okay, episode number 16.
Episode 16.
We're back. As you can see, if you've just watched all these back to back, we're still wearing the same clothes because we only finished the last episode 2 minutes ago. You still look tardy. You still take a jump off if you want.
Look like a different outfit.
Do you want to do that? We've already told them now.
Okay. Onwards.
I've got a jumper on. I could have put a jumper on as well.
No one would have known.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a question. We're going
to do a question. This might be long, this one.
This might be long because we've just spoke for like
just
an
being told
hour.
I'm not allowed to eat a banana while we're filming.
No, I said to Dad, I don't want weird chompy noises on the podcast.
Did you just say to me, I said to Dan? I am Dan.
Yeah, I was talking to you.
Oh, then people. Well, that's just a black device that's recording you.
Dude, I'm getting complimented.
Well, anyway, I was just saying to Leah. Yeah. There's nobody there. Right. Well, they are. I suppose they are. I'm not saying you're not actually there. No, I'm talking to them now, Leah. I know you're watching this, people, but you're not real because in the room there's just us. Right.
No, when I laugh, I cry. Now I'm crying. Look.
Is it stinging?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what we're talking about.
We're doing a question and answer.
Suggestive bananas. Just put it behind my ear in case I need it for later. Oh, God. Did I tell you I got to do that joke on somebody finally? Did I say this on air last time? I shouldn't have done it. It was terrible. But I had a banana in my pocket.
Yeah.
And someone hugged me at a show. And I was like, and I said, and I've been waiting my entire life. I've literally waited my entire life to do this. That is a banana in my pocket. And then I pulled the banana out. And I thought, this is going to go really good or really bad. And they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, whoa.
They didn't just look at you, gone out.
Yeah, because I'd have been good if I'd waited my full life to tell a joke. And then they just went. Sorry about that, whoever it was.
Oh, God.
We're going to do some questions and answers today. Well, we're going to do the answers. You've done the questions, people. So should we get them up?
Yeah, we've got loads because we answered a couple off the back of the last...
You all right?
No, I can't stop now. We answered a few off the back of the last podcast, but we've got a lot of good questions. So, yeah, we're basically gonna go and answer a few of these.
Yeah,
we did a little life update in the last episode. So if you haven't watched that,
go and watch that.
Go and watch the last one.
Unless you're suicidal, it might just push you over the edge. So maybe don't bother.
It's not bad, was it?
No, it's all right. Right, you start then.
Okay, I'm gonna pick.
We had a lot of questions, which we did mention on the last episode, which we just recorded. So I don't know if they just said this a second ago, if it was on this one or not. But we got about 40 questions, didn't we?
Yeah, 40.
So we can't do all of them, which that's going up. We're getting a lot more questions. We're getting a lot more views.
We are. We're getting a lot of questions.
Nearly into triple digits now.
Oh, that's exciting. We're not far off. So, shall I pick one of... Does it matter which one I pick? Any?
No, as long... Yeah.
Okay. Do other coaches treat you weird because all the good athletes come to you in the end when they get it wrong? I thought that was brilliant.
That's an ego stroke of that one, isn't it? No. This is a weird year, this one. I feel like I'm getting some coach respect this year, actually.
I feel like you've got like a little coach gang thing
all of a sudden. Yeah. I feel like the first few years, because obviously I worked in the gyms for ages, and so I was a bit of a... We always did really well, but I was not on a big scale, so it was never really imposing on anybody, I suppose. 2020, 21, 22, 23, obviously now 24 is where it kind of all took off. I feel like I got a bit of hate the first few years, as you always do when things blow up. And I think when they realise you're not going away, then they start being nice to you.
Yeah.
I seem to get a lot of this year, actually, and I was thinking about this, like other coaches like messaging for advice, like things like that. Quite well-known coaches as well, actually, with this and that.
Oh, that's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm in this position now, am I?
Yeah.
Or they'll ask me about this client or that client or what I think about what they've done at the weekend or just like little stuff like that. I seem to be getting a lot of that this year. So I've not noticed anybody being funny with me. I think most people are all right, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't think many coaches are like that.
I don't.
Most coaches I've spoken to are like pretty nice.
Pretty chill out there, yeah. I think it's we all understand that, like, I don't know. It's just like, it depends on what person you get to work with and what, do you know what I mean? And like, there's a lot of that. Obviously, some are better than others and all the rest of it. And some people do some mad shit. But overall, I don't think it's overly bitchy.
I don't.
Unless I'm just really naive and don't hear it. Because I'm never one to get into conversations where people are getting slagged off anyway. I don't like being in conversations where other people are getting slagged off. I'll kind of walk away from them kind of conversations. I find it like mentally not good for me.
No,
do you know what I mean? I don't like being around like that
Yeah.
sort of thing. It makes me feel mentally not good. So maybe I'm just naive, but
And also, I think it's quite cool what you're doing, where you're like, it's like collaborating with other coaches, because rather than then you all like going against each other, it's like you can, like the events you're doing, I can't remember what it's called, but the thing with Rob and
the coach's mentoring thing.
Yeah, everything like that, because then you can all come together rather than it being like a whole.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean?
in the top level of it, there seems to be like a real mutual respect between us all, because I think we all probably know we're all as good as each other, but we just do things a bit differently.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it anyway.
Yeah.
It's all them that I think I'm no better or no worse than any of them.
Yeah.
I think we just do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And we might have a little bit of some people do this category, some people are more chosen for that category, more chosen for this fed, more that fed, but
Yeah, definitely.
and then we're just more good. Because I think after a certain point, it's just about more nailing the look for what the judges want, as opposed to just being as simple as getting people lean and full and dry, and like that's all.
Yeah, and also like people will like different coaching approaches, and like people are naturally going to gravitate to maybe a certain like type of person.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to be like slightly different.
Yeah, I think that's all it really
suited
is.
to people anyway, aren't they?
I like to think that's all it is anyway. Probably lots of people watching this going, "Nah, you're a prick, mate."
I don't think anyone thinks that.
But yeah, that's a cool question. Thank you.
Thank you, question asker.
Thank you, question asker.
Okay, your turn.
My turn.
You can pick one now.
Fill the gap. Do some just hum for a minute, Leah. Just hum a song for us.
Don't. I'll start laughing again.
What's your favourite federation and why? No, you know what I'm going to say anyway.
PCA.
Yeah,
I've only ever
obviously.
competed with PCA.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did a UK UP show. It was my first show at Body Power.
Yeah. That'll have been in 2018.
Yeah, I think so.
A while ago, yeah.
6 years ago. Mad.
This is my mate that likes to ask me this. Do you have a pierce? You know you are. Did you ask Mark Felix to put you in a headlock? That's his favourite question for me. Yes, I did ask Mark Felix to put me in a headlock. And he looked at me and went, no. Much to my friend's amusement, that was in 2008 and he's still talking about it. No, 2007 and he's still talking about it. So yeah, that did happen. Biggest show day pet peeves?
What, as in what clients do?
I don't know. What do you hate about show day?
God, that's a good question. I like show day.
Suppose mine is when they check in the morning and look absolutely fucking nothing like what they've looked like for the last 20 weeks.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a bit annoying.
I was having this conversation. I don't think anyone likes the show day morning check-ins generally.
No.
When you got the pre-tan on, you're in a different place and you've stayed in a different... when you're you're trying to get hotel lighting, which is just the worst.
You're like walking around the hotel with like the ring light like hooked on top of the light and in the bathroom, open the bathroom door.
Yeah, the downlight's just ruining everything.
And then obviously when you got your base coat tan and not your top coat, you look a bit like... It kind of like gets rid of all the lines.
Yeah, it gets rid of all the lines, and then it's like, are they flat? Are they this? Are they that? And like every coach has to deal with that, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think it was Shannon I was talking to about the other day. She was like, I think I'm just going to accept that I'm never going to like my show day morning check-in. She's like, I don't know how you fucking do it.
No.
Like, because I've got faith in the fact that like, I know that things are going to disappear a little bit or this or that or whatever. I suppose that's my pet peeve. I suppose that I don't. People always look like they take a bit of a step backwards. Some people do, or they'll be outside and they've got good lighting and all the tan will have gone well and like you can see this or that. But half the time, people look like they took about 5 steps backwards on what they're meant to look like.
I feel like you know in yourself that like, you know when you get up, you know straight away in yourself that you're all right. Yeah. So even if I always think, right, I know I'm going to look a bit dodged, but at least I know in myself that I'm okay.
Yeah, it's just a bit of an head fuck for people, isn't it?
Yeah, but. I don't think really. I feel like show days. Well, the show days I've had are pretty like chilled and nice, and nothing really annoys me.
This one keeps coming up. You can just answer this while we're looking for a good question. What food prepping? How long is okay? 3 to 4 days meals in the fridge.
We were talking about this. I get asked this all the time, right?
I think the first time I must have been asked
post
that.
a lot of stuff on like how I do my meal prep or like organisation and stuff. People have a fear with like keeping cooked meat in the fridge.
Yeah, why?
I don't know, but I literally prep mine, so I'll do it 2 times over the week, and then it will be in the fridge for like
a good 4 days.
4 or 5 days is absolutely fine, and I'll just batch cook everything and just whack it in the fridge, and it's so much easier then because it's like fridge prep rather than meal prep. Have you seen the whole thing on Instagram at the minute? Where it's like that's an easy one.
When to decide when to use stuff?
Oh, I've got that on for right now actually.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
What to try before accepting your body doesn't want to get lean, etc. Timescale, etc. What are the signs that you will need help? Don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. So there's about a few questions in that, but I think the first thing before you look at that is
they're talking about fat burners. Is that what they're on about?
I think they're on about like
just things in general.
Generally, yeah.
Okay.
So I think with that you got to look at, have you actually done it properly first? So like, haven't you given yourself long enough? Have you built your food up high enough before? Like, are you actually sticking to everything properly? You know, like actually making sure everything's lined up properly first.
Yeah, just try and do it naturally.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I get what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just try and do it naturally, and just make sure you've set out all the provisions. What you've said, starting from a good starting point, food's built high enough, long enough break between dieting, which is probably not spoken about nowhere near enough, especially for women. You need to be not trying to prep year to year and all that jazz and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And that I get clients that have been like chronically dieting and not really saying out when they just kind of join up, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, well, I've this is the first time I've ever been in a surplus." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?" Do you know what I mean? So it's making sure everything's like that. Obviously, if you're checking your blood work, making sure everything's in place with that. Is everything sat in a nice spot for you? Do you naturally sit in a decent place with thyroid and things like that? Sometimes things like that are a bit low for people, or because you've been chronically dieting, it's not in a good spot at all. Even that's not always an indicator, because sometimes I'll get this with people where they're not fully recovered and they need longer without dieting. Yet all the blood work says everything's in a perfect place. And then they'll go to diet and just absolutely nothing happens. The bodies just don't
respond very well.
Yeah. So I think that sits outside of what you pick up on a blood test. Do you know what I mean? Because things like that, you're looking for obviously hormonal levels and thyroid levels and things like that. To be sat in a... Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just sorting my hair out.
To be sat in a nice place, to be able to diet down, and then, but that doesn't even always give a full indication. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, are you all right, Leah?
Sorry, I'm getting very distracted today. No, I'm all right. It's because I laugh so much and now I can't like...
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And yeah, just giving it a proper go naturally if that's what you want to do. Not even everyone wants to be bothered to try naturally. Like, they want to try a little bit of Clen or a little bit of T3 or whatever it is, and like, listen, I've got plenty of first timers that just say, I just want to just do it that way.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, let's be honest, there's not much like huge life-threatening risks that come with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll just say, I'll do a little bit of Clen, I'll do a little bit of T3, sound. And I'm like, all right, sound. And that's kind of
because you don't need to go crazy, do you?
No, you don't need to put your life at risk. You don't need to run on meth or anything to get in shape. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I guess the biggest thing with that is like, when you're saying before accepting your body doesn't want to get lean, like, have you actually given yourself the chance to do that properly? Because I think a lot of people like underestimate how long it takes once you've done a diet before to actually get yourself back in a good spot, actually hold yourself in a good spot. Like, I'll get clients that come to me and they've been dieting for ages, and they'll think that after a couple of months they're ready to like diet again. Yeah. And it's like, actually, you probably need a lot longer than you think to just let things stabilise out a little bit.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
So
you're looking at least 6 months, really. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? At least.
So just making sure you've done that first. And then if you've genuinely done anything and you're not responding, you can maybe think, well, I either need a bit longer off dieting, need to build my food up more.
Which is usually more the case. You probably more need a longer time of dieting than you do drugs.
Yes, yeah.
And as well, if you're doing... Okay, God, that's bloody diet cool. If you're doing if you're doing like a natural prep as well, you need to make sure you've set out a decent amount of time. Yeah, because there's a different time scale involved generally with what you need to do to get there.
Yeah, and especially if you're someone that has maybe your first prep or you're getting into bodybuilding and you've been a little bit more like carrying a bit more weight before, then
Of how polite you are.
I'm trying. I don't want to say like you've been really overweight,
Yeah.
but that's what I mean. Yeah, if you've gone through that and then you're trying to get lean, you know, you're probably going to have to potentially push a little bit more to get leaner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an hard one. It's an hard one to answer without knowing everything, and we would know that, I suppose, if it was in the situation with the person.
It's very person-specific.
Person-specific,
question.
broad topic. No, I never like to give a concrete answer to anything. Anyway, actually, I was thinking about this the other day. I never give concrete answers to anything.
It depends.
Yeah, I would typically see. That's what I would typically see.
Always favourite.
I find in general.
Yeah.
I think we're bodybuilding. If you're giving concrete answers, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. This wrong.
Yeah.
Like, there's a million different ways to do things. This is because of this. If you do this, this will happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I could say that and then give two people the exact same thing to do, and
they respond really differently.
Respond completely differently. So I think any absolutes that are spoken within bodybuilding are through lack of experience. Personally, confidence does not equal competence.
I like that quote.
Nice quote, that, isn't it?
I'm whacking all the quotes out today.
Loads of quotes.
So this one is about bikini pros. Okay. The PCA figure pros all look similar. Physique pros too, so it's obvious why who wins. Bikini, very odd over the years. Constantly girls who lack glutes achieving at pro level. So is it basically build an X-frame and then who can get the most lines or be the most shredded, not muscle development, I think that's meant to say.
I don't even know if I want to go into that kind of bitter sounding question.
Yeah, it's a bit diggy at bikini girls, isn't it?
That's all it's really doing. I'll be somebody that doesn't agree or understand with what they're seeing. I can't think of anybody who's done well at pro level or got a pro card with no glutes.
I feel like a lot of the bikini girls are very glute dominant.
Well, yeah, it's main part of the class. And I think because the bikini class is pretty shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear this sometimes from some of these...
I feel like I always get diggy questions on the NGL.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I didn't get none today. I usually expect some. That's why I didn't even check it last night. Because sometimes I don't want to read that negativity on my Sunday night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into whatever the fucking nonsense they're talking about.
Okay, this one's a good one though. Does Dan think he has the Pro Show winner or the British overall winner this year?
Well, I've got...
That puts you on the spot.
It does put me on the spot because I'm trying to think. I ain't got no pros prepping for it, I don't think. All my pros are going next year.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they are. I know. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm in for a fucking 2025 run. I am, because everybody's doing next year.
So you basically, the lineup for the pro shows is going to be like 10 of your girls in each category.
Yeah, like it was last year, because you've all had a year off this year, and then you're all going next year.
Although it's good though, because then at least you're not on stage with like two people, which is it's better to be in a lineup with more people.
Yeah, true. I think I had 75% of the pro lineup in figure last year. I think something like that. But yeah, even if I thought that, I probably won't start throwing names about, because then I'm putting other people's noses out of joint of what I think. And I've got a bunch of people that I'm working with for the first time on this prep as well for the end of this year that are all looking very good. And there's some physiques that come surprising you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not going to put people's noses out of joint saying this client's that and I think this client's that. But let's just say I've got some good people for the end of the year.
Exciting.
I've got some very good people, but I have seen some, especially in figure, a couple of really outstanding people that are not with me as well, which I'm expecting toughness from those, let's say. Tough outings from those.
Yeah.
It's a bit tough to be competing against those, I think is what I mean. For show. That's all I'll say.
Secretly smiles.
But next year, fuck me, yeah. Everybody's doing the back end of next year for the pros, my bikini pros and my figure pros.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That'll be fun though, won't it?
Yeah. I'll get my prescriptions in early. Excuse me, Mr. Doctor, can I have some diazepam, please? Just to calm my nerves, man. Nah, it's all good. I'm fucking looking forward to it. I'm blessed to be working with that many good physiques.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think I feel any pressure with that, really. I think just like, I suppose there's the high expectations pressure of people watching, I suppose, that
Yeah,
want to see this
yeah.
and that, I suppose. But I don't really care about what they think that much, to be honest. I more care about what you lot think.
Yeah.
As long as you lot are happy, I'm
Yeah.
happy. Do you know what I mean? You know that anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm more bothered about my clients just being happy with how they're looking, and the more so than what they get on the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is it? Because I think if you walk on stage and you walk out and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling really good
Yeah.
in myself.
I'd ra-
That's the best. That's the best thing at the end of the prep, isn't it? I think.
I'd honestly rather have a client buzzing with the physique and come third than someone really not happy with everything and win.
Yeah.
I'd much rather that. And I know it's not the glamorous answer, but I'm here to deliver for you lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I put a lot of pressure on myself with that, with all of you. Sometimes too much, probably. But that's where I put all my pressure on myself with just making and to be honest, it's an impossible job because not everybody's always going to be happy. It's impossible, isn't it? But that's my main focus, and just trying to get everything right for that. And then the placings, you can't pick, choose, help.
You can't control that.
No,
anyway,
you can't.
so.
You've got no control over it. So just try and make everyone look as good as they can. Try and keep everyone happy, and try and get some sleep.
Always good. How big of a role does genetics play in the smaller classes like bikini? What would you say, apart from an hourglass frame, what else is good genetics? I think genetics does play a role because it's going to dictate your shape, ultimately.
It's going to dictate your shape. It's going to dictate your structure. It's going to dictate your mental genetics, which people don't really talk about that much.
That's a good point, actually.
Your mental genetics to how you are with prep, to how you handle life, how you handle your training whilst you're dieting, to how you handle the pressures of prep, which we've spoken a little bit about with people concerning stuff and things like that. Of how well can handle the stress that comes with everything. Genetics dictates your shape. Genetics dictates how much muscle you're able to grow and what you need to do to do it. It dictates how easily you get in condition. It dictates everything, doesn't it? So it's a huge role. Yeah. And that's the difficult problem that you get with like people's shapes and stuff. And sometimes competitors can't understand, and they go, well, I was bigger, I was leaner, I had more muscles in every area. Why did I come second to that person? Yeah. And it's hard to just say they just look better than you. Yeah. It's an hard thing to say. Do you know what I mean? They just look better, but why do they look better? They just do. They just do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difficult thing with bodybuilding, isn't it? Because you'll get that. Yeah. And the person who's not leanest, who's not biggest, who's not got the most muscles, not necessarily even always the best structure, will win.
They just look nice.
They just have that look, and they walk out and they catch everybody's eye. Yeah. And the physique just looks more pleasing and everything like that. And it's pleasing is the only word you can really use to describe it. And yeah, exactly that. And it's a difficult pill to swallow sometimes, that when you can't beat them. Like, yeah.
So genetics, basically, it does play quite a big role, but obviously you can still. Sorry, say what you were going to say.
No. I was half going to interrupt you anyway. But yeah, that's only part of the equation. Like, and it's the old thing, innit? Like, you can't beat genetics that works hard or whatever it is. But that don't mean to say that you can't beat them. Yeah, I've spent my full bodybuilding time beating people with better genetics than me, but they just didn't maximise the capacity of what they were able to do. Because I was a workhorse. I worked really, really hard. Always came in condition and all the rest of it. And sometimes you beat people, but like if everybody's on, you're going to probably get beat by the people who. Yeah,
if everyone's working at the same rate and putting the same work in, obviously the people with better genetics are going to generally win. Yeah, do better.
Yeah, generally, but that didn't mean to say you can't do well if you've not got exceptional genetics. It don't mean to say that you can't better yourself every single year if you've not got exceptional genetics. All right, you might have to work a little bit harder, or you might have to do this a little bit more, or you might have to do whatever. But yeah, it's definitely not a put off. Otherwise, none of us would compete because there's always going to be someone with better genetics.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even if you think, oh, I don't have like the best genetics, like you can still build muscle over time. You can still get lean with time, so you can still show up and like be better.
Yeah, and get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's not just a genetics competition. I turn up week in, week out to shows and see people with exceptional genetics coming third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and I always just think in my head, what a waste. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They either haven't worked hard enough, or they haven't had the right direction, or whatever it might be, or they haven't been given the right instruction, or whatever, or time, and they'll get beat all the time. Yeah. I beat people like that week in, week out with my own clients. They've got better genetic things because they've had the right preparation and care and everything like that, and being told the right things, presentation. Even you get someone with amazing shape,
and they can't
they just fucking pose like they're on acid, and you think, oh well, that's all right, and then they end up getting beat. You know what I mean? You see that a lot as well.
So basically, it does play a role, but it's not everything.
Yes.
That's going to be the answer.
Good one.
How long would you push before mini cutting post show? When to mini cut? So, yeah.
I like this one. I like this question actually, because this will address a lot of questions that I get on this, and people sometimes get people 2 or 3 weeks post show, and they'll be like, I put too much weight on, can I take some weight back off? I'm like, that weight ain't going nowhere now, that's stuck.
Yeah.
I like to push that as long as possible, which is why I really like to get the reverse right, because what will happen is, and there might be a few outliers to this, but I'm going to talk about 9.5 times out of 10 with women, especially women, because you've not got guys taking the drugs and they can just stay on a bit of gear and all. And this we don't have that choice with women. You're putting up with whatever you've done to your body on the prep that needs fixing for a start. That needs to get back to normal. You've usually down-regulated your metabolism. Your body's been pushed to where it doesn't want to go, and you'll gain fat quite easily and quite quickly. Yeah. So I'm always trying to post-show stop the negatives of post-show caring, which is binging, going on a mad one and just doing loads of mad shit. So I'll always get the food nice and high, as you know, straight off the gate. Yeah. Yes, the body weight will come up at a decent rate with that, which is kind of what we're looking for in a way anyways. And if it done, bonus, I suppose. But that's the one thing that's going to stop you going off track and gaining loads of weight really fast, because then whatever weight you put on post-show, it's not coming off, so you need to keep pushing upwards for a long period of time. So if we can control that the best way possible, which that's the best way I've found possible so far, post-show, then we have a longer time once the appetite settles to push up, because you're looking at really a minimum. Don't usually let people sooner than 6 months. Yeah,
because I guess the problem you run into is if you're feeling like your post-show and you're mini cutting too soon, you're only just recovered or maybe not even fully recovered, and then you're trying to diet again, and then you're maybe 6 months post-show and you've not actually
nothing happens,
fully recovered, and you've not built any muscle because you've gone back into a fat loss phase.
And the fat don't come off.
Yeah.
Or it rarely comes off.
Because your body's not responsive, because you haven't actually recovered after the actual prep itself.
And you struggle to stick to that diet because you've already been dieted to death. You're not getting much results from it, which leads to worse binging problems, and you just end up in a cascade of shit. So you're best off just radding that bastard out for what it is, which is why trying to get that first 3 weeks post show is really important, because it puts you in the best opportunity to not be suffering further down the line. Because if you go slamming on tons of weight in the first 3 weeks, you've not even established a baseline of diet yet. So then as soon as you start doing that, you're probably going to carry on gaining weight as soon as you start pushing the food up from there anyways. So you just weight on top of weight on top of weight, which is why we're always trying to nail it. So for me, just to put out an example, generally all my girls that I had competing at the British, so October last year, mid-October, they've just started cutting for mini cuts for the first time in May. Yeah. So they're the earliest ones. I know obviously we're not doing anything this year, are we? But all the other ones that have done that. I would not be doing a mini cut right now. You are?
I would not be doing a mini cut.
No. I'm glad. I'm glad. But some of these, they needed it and they wanted it, and we need it for what plans we're doing later in the year. Do you know what I mean? So I'll drag them as long as I can. If we can get that to drag all the way till May/June, that's brilliant. The girls who were a month and a half later or whatever who did the Worlds, they're starting soonish, July, probably something
so probably
like that.
About six plus months,
7,
really.
plus 6 months. I'll try and limit it to 6 months. And then it's got to strategize for when the next competing. Yeah. So if you're coming out of the British and Worlds, let's just say end of October, just for an example, November, December, Christmas, January, February, March, April, we're looking to start cutting May, June. So then we'll do 2 months to take off as much shit as we can in 2 months, sometimes a bit more, 8 to 10 weeks maybe. Take off as much as we possibly can. May, June, July. Then we've got August, September, October, November, December to get through before we start an actual prep. Yeah. So that leaves 4 or 5 months there.
Yeah. And then you're doing 2 decent stints of building.
Yeah. So
not wasting loads of time dieting.
Yeah. Decent stint of building, because fuck all else is going to happen coming out the back of the show anyway, so you might as well use it. Take off a bunch of the crap if you need to, or usually actually I've got some girls starting just because not everyone gains fat similarly. Do you know what I mean? Some of them just don't gain fat, half of them. I've got some that are still sat, I won't say what weights, but not loads above stage weight, what you'd imagine. But they're eating fucking loads, and they have been for ages. They're just blessed like that. Do you know what I mean? But their appetite's dead. Yeah, because I've been feeding them, and their appetite's dead, so we need to refresh that. So that's another reason why I might do it with some people. So they're doing that, and then we'll push up into the end of the year. If things are looking like they're going to get a bit too sloppy, towards January, because obviously we know we've got Christmas to get through and they'll be starting prep in January for May, then I might put them in another 4 or 5 weeks through maybe October or something, or November, or just something just to stop
to pull back
accumulating and maybe take a little bit of it away as well and refresh things, push across them 2 months and then that. So I'll always strategize it in that way. Do you know what I mean? Similarly, if they've finished in May, we might go all the way through and then usually do one in January and February. That's usually the case. So all the girls that are finishing the universe now, we won't do a mini cut until January.
Yeah.
And then we'll do January and Feb. Then they usually have March, April, May. And then, because they'll usually go every 18 months.
Yeah.
And then we'll start prepping for the year after.
Yeah,
that's why it's a terrible idea to go year to year.
Because you don't get that same time frame with it, do you?
You don't get the recovery time and you don't get the time to take the shit off. So unless you've got someone that's quite blessed with, they don't have an hard prep, everything's recovered hormonally well, they don't struggle to lose fat anyway, and then they've managed to gain some decent muscle in that time, which there's a couple of them, but I don't. Going year to year, so October, fucking terrible idea, absolutely terrible.
Because by the time you've come out of the recovery and had a couple of months, you're back into it.
Yeah, and then what you'll notice with them people is, that might be all right for 1 year, you might do that, but then you do it next year, and what you'll notice with them people is, they have an easy prep, that prep's a bit harder, this one you have to fucking die, this one doesn't even work, and it just
you just end up regressing basically.
And then you'll end up in them situations that we've spoken about where then you have to just suck up a big off season without any cuts, and get usually extremely fat for ages to then wait long enough for your body to because it's not just like it takes the same time for everybody. You have to give it longer. Sometimes you'll then have to sit in a surplus for a full 12 months
and feel a bit uncomfortable
and
as
be
well.
pretty damn uncomfortable. Before your body will do anything to give it a response. So that's why I'll always try and negate that before it even gets to that, which all these clients, they don't even know I'm looking after them half the time, but this is what I'm doing for them to stop them getting wrecked. Do you get what I mean? And they probably won't even be aware of that, but that's when we're planning the way we plan. That's why I do it. Because it's for their own benefit, you know what I mean? Because you know 100%. Yourself, like, the worse of the prep is, the worse of the reverse is, the worse of the reverse is, the worse of the off season, and it ends up into a massive cascade of shit constantly.
100%. So basically, summarise when to mini cut is when you've been recovered, you've been building your food up for a while, and you basically got a little bit of body fat that you need to pull off to maybe break it down a bit, or your appetite's dead, or you maybe want to start your prep in a slightly better position. Any of them things. But basically, don't mini cut just because you start feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Because I'll get this with clients all the time. It's like they'll start building, they'll just start making some progress, and they'll be like, "Oh, can we do a diet? I'm going on holiday." And it's like we've been not dieting for like 2 or 3 months.
It's and then it shouldn't get a great response, does it? It just
and then
generally, and obviously there's outliers to it, isn't there? But I'm just talking out of the general, like. You're not going to get much of a response. And
then you've just got I've had it with clients before where we've built the food up, they're on a good amount of food, and then you start pulling back because the client's like, one diet. So you start pulling back a bit and you end up pulling calories down and nothing really happens. And then they don't really look any different because they haven't spent long enough building the calories up. And then you're in a predicament where you're like, right, we either have to push and go actually quite low to get you a bit leaner, or we have to go back up again. So it's like you
just wasted that time trying to diet generally.
When you could have just stayed in the surplus.
And you're actually a little bit one of these. You take quite a long time to recover before you go into a diet again, innit? I think we did that cut about that time. We finished in the May, and did we do it in the January? Not a lot happened?
So we finished prep in May, and then we tried to diet just after Christmas, and I think we got like £4 off or something in like 8 weeks.
So we learned from it, and now we know. We're going to give you a full year after the back of competing last time before we look at doing anything like that again.
Well, this will be the longest since I've started competing.
That he's going to sit in a surplus. I feel like we've managed it very well because you're still looking good.
I feel in a decent place. But when you were talking, then I was thinking, maybe I need to really go.
See, I'm even getting an airhead now. No, because I don't think anything would really happen.
No.
Because it didn't last time. No. And I'm not saying it's the same every time, but we've planned yours well. But general rules of thumb is, you shouldn't be trying to diet again.
I think it's easy to get sucked into that though sometimes, you know, when you like see a lot of people dieting or you're watching a lot of people mini cutting and you're in like a big building phase. Sometimes it's so easy to look and think, oh, maybe like I should do a mini cut.
I think as well, the people coming out the back end of shows that will just pile a load of weight on, they'll say things like, well, I'll just take a bit off before we get pushing up. Like that's not a thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thing. Don't get me wrong, you might get someone every now and again who gets a bit of a response, but it's rare. It's rare. I don't even entertain it. I don't even entertain it.
You just got to crack on and get back to normal, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because then what happens is you try and pull back. You're like struggling post-diet, you maybe overeating a bit, and then you try and pull back, and then you end up in this horrible cycle of like, you're undereating, then you're overeating, and then you're just not getting anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Which can be not a very nice place to be. Okay, right. I like these. I've got some good ones here. So this kind of follows on, relates to the last one. I feel like I'm always dieting, but I never get any leaner. That literally is what we just said about
That's why.
You're just running yourself into the ground. You probably haven't even got much muscle because you've never actually spent time in a surplus. So then you're trying to diet, and you're probably not getting leaner because A, you don't have the muscle, and B, you're actually not starting in a very good place.
Yeah, you quite possibly, we don't know, but you can inbox us and ask if you want. But you've probably not been dieting. I mean, you're not being sat in a surplus for long enough. Or you never properly stick into the cuts.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that people will do. They'll be like, I'm dieting.
Yeah.
But they're always fucking the diet up.
Yeah,
they're always coming off plan, or they've got this or they've got that.
And
so they're like, then you end up in a worse state of chronic dieting because you're not actually dieting, but you're suffering for no reason because you're not sticking to what you're meant to be doing. And I forget about them people because I don't really have them as clients.
Yeah, see, I have a lot of
your
clients
lifestyle
like this,
so you'll get a lot more of that.
Yeah, and they'll basically end up at maintenance. They're like dieting,
but not.
Yeah, they're like dieting, but like their calories are like a bit lower. So then, we're going through, right, when you eat out, we're going to choose this, or we're not going to have dessert, we're going to have X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So then they'll not miss out, but they'll obviously make sacrifices at social occasions. But then they'll be grabbing a handful of the kids' food here, having a bit of this there, and then before you know it, they're at maintenance, and they're like,
don't wear the peanut butter and the
or they're licking the spoon on this, and then before you know it, it's like they're dieting, but they're actually
just suffering for no reason.
Yeah, literally. So that, and the massive one with that is like weekends, like they'll stick to like their plan through the week, and then they'll get to the weekend and a lot of it will go out the window because
you always know when you get these people. Sorry, go on.
No, I wasn't going to say
no. You said because. Sorry, Leah. I'm terrible for that. I get excited and then I jump in.
No, I do that all the time as well. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, because they get to the weekend and then obviously they're going out, and then they'll get influenced by friends and family and X, Y, Z, and then they actually end up just reducing all that deficit they've built through the week.
Yeah.
And just sat at maintenance again.
Yeah.
So then it's again, you're like not missing out, but you're like making sacrifices to be in the deficit, and then you basically just bring yourself back up again.
You'll get these ones, and these are the ones that I laugh at, and I see it on Instagram, and I sometimes see people post it as though it's magic, and they'll go, I lifted my calories up, and then I started losing weight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you just actually stuck to the calories.
You lifted the calories up so it was tolerable, and then you started sticking to the calories, so now you're actually losing weight.
Yeah.
When your calories was low and you was maybe doing loads of cardio or whatever it might have been that you was doing before, you weren't sticking to it. You was either binging or you was eating off plan or you was doing this and that.
Yeah.
So no progress was happening. I reduced the cardio and I started eating more and my body started losing weight. No, you're just actually eating the calories now.
Yeah.
You've gone from, you was on 1200, but you was actually eating 1900, and you put it up to 1700.
And you're actually eating 1700.
And you're actually eating 1700.
100%.
And shock, you're now losing weight.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, them ones always make me laugh. Magician.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the big thing though, isn't it? It's like mentally, like, I'll get clients that do this where it's like or clients that have come to me and their calories are lower, but then they're overeating, and then that sends them like down a little bit of a spiral.
Yeah.
Whereas if we just bring the calories up a bit, like mentally, they feel like they can stick to it.
Yeah.
And then they're not getting into that whole spiral. So it actually leads to like a lot of the time bringing the calories up, it just leads to much better progress.
Unless they're like, I don't know, maybe not moving as much in themselves. There's the general, like there's the fidget thing and all that in there that people move less with all that. But I actually had a couple of lifestyle clients this year randomly. I acquired a couple of lifestyle clients.
I remember you saying about that.
Yeah, which was pretty mad. And one woman came, and she was like, she was a bit like, she was not big lady, but like, you know what I mean? She looked all right, but she's just not like a bodybuilder, do you know what I mean? And she was like, I've done it all. I've been eating 1200 calories. Yeah. She said she was eating 1200. She can't go anything above that. She gains weight. All this, like, she's doing all this cardio and blah, 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 blah. And I used to coach somebody who was their personal trainer. I think it was one of my clients who was quite a good athlete, if I remember rightly. She said, so I've come to you because I'm stuck. And all I did was I gave her no cardio. Yeah. None whatsoever. Yeah. Then I just give her 10,000 steps. And this is probably like basic stuff. And I think I just set her calories at 1,800. Yeah. And she was going, she wasn't going mad, but she was like super concerned. Yeah. She was like, I will get fat. I cannot eat that. Blah, 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 blah. And she had a couple of health conditions as well, to be fair to her. Like, that was a little bit in the way of what she was trying to do, which I won't be too specific about. But then, shock and lo and behold, she dropped a pound every single week that I was with her.
Yeah.
Every single week. That she stuck to it anyway. She'd come off bits and pieces here and there, as lifestyle clients do, but every single time she was on plan, she lost a pound every single. She's like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, I ain't even hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually eating it.
Yeah, because she was sticking to it. Yeah.
Yeah, what I found works really well as well with a lot of like lifestyle clients as well is giving them like a calorie range.
Yeah.
So because a lot of females get into that mindset where it's like if they've gone over the macros or over the calories, it then like they can struggle a bit. So what I found works really well is giving them like a 200 or 300 calorie range, and we'll just stick between that, and then they can.
All right, okay. So like between 2,000 and 2,200, that type of thing.
Yeah, and then it gets them in a place where they're like listening to like their appetite a bit more and stuff. Because if they're not so hungry, they can go to the bottom end, and if they're hungrier,
right, okay, that's a good
so
idea.
that works really well. And then it gets them to like, actually think about what they're doing a bit more versus just these are your calories.
I'm giving all your secrets away now. It's a good idea, that one.
Well, it works really well with lifestyle clients.
Yeah, I bet it does. Yeah,
especially if people have come from a place where they've like struggled with their relationship with food.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I'll just set literally protein target. Won't give them fat and carb targets. I'll just say, this is your calorie range.
Calorie and protein.
This is your protein. Make sure you hit XYZ number of meals. I'll give them like an example with meals.
Yeah.
And then they can build it around that, and that works super well.
Do you give them sometimes more on a weekend?
Yeah, so I might say, like, for example, I'll do calorie banking with some people. So I'll say, you know, if you can hit towards, if you're going out for a meal on the Saturday or you've got like a weekend away, let's aim towards the lower end. And then we can maybe add those calories onto the upper end. So then they can get actually quite a lot of calories then on a weekend.
Yeah, because they're saving up 5 days worth, aren't they? Or even 6 days worth.
Yeah, or even if they're saving like 100 a day. You don't really notice that. It's like, 15 grams of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And they've got 500 calories on top of the calories on a Saturday. It works really well for a lot of people.
Yeah. I asked a client on the other week that she does macros.
Yeah.
Like, she's always done macros. And obviously I'm like, I don't do the macro thing, like, because I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's the best way to do it. But this woman lived to a meal plan.
Yeah.
But the job that she's had was fucking impossible to be able to actually do what I would set out. Do you know what I mean? So I was on a call with her, and usually people say, oh, I'll only do macros. And then we kind of don't go much further than that. But I accepted what she was saying, and I believed that she was thingy. So it was just an interesting conversation that I had on one of the check-ins where she was like, because obviously what I'd done is punched it into my fitness pal with her. So she works real mad shifts and like in a real, like quite a complicated job, I think. But so on them days, she could kind of use it, and then she would do the meal plan on the other days, which she agreed to. She was like, why is my protein so high? And it was like, I can't remember what the exact numbers was, and it was way above what I would class as giving someone protein. And when I looked at it, I'm like, well, you've only got X amount from true protein, which to me, meat, fish, eggs, whey protein, and all the other stuff's accumulated from like bread and
like your trace proteins.
And trace proteins and rice and all the other places where it comes from. And I found that quite interesting because obviously she'd only ever been given a macro plan, and she found it really interesting as well from what she was coming back with. So obviously when she'd been doing it, she'd been eating way less protein, what I would class as protein, because she'd been accumulating what from the bread and this other places. So, and I expect, she's only been with me a couple of weeks now, but I'm expecting to see quite a lot of progress because her actual protein is now actually where it should be because she's getting it all from where she needs to be. Because she asked me why is this? And when I looked at it and I said to her, well, these are like true sources of protein and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, all right, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's, I never really thought about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mad sometimes because you can look at a meal. Like I do a lot of like food diary, like analysis stuff for my clients. So they'll track the food and then I'll go through the food diary and the checking and like give them feedback with it. And sometimes you'll look at a meal and it's like 50, 60 grams of protein and they're like, oh yeah, I've hit my protein or whatever. And then you look at it and there's only maybe 20 or 30 grams that are actually from the meat. A lot of it comes from like the other stuff.
Yeah, because quite a lot in bread, I think.
Yeah, even if you look at like some of the protein bread now, it's like 9 grams. The bread I have, it's like 9 grams a slice of protein.
Yeah, it's a gimmick though, isn't it? I mean, it's made of shit in it. Like.
Yeah, but it's mad though how much protein you could actually accumulate from like your other stuff.
Yeah, and it spiked my interest because it's obviously not how I normally work.
Yeah,
I thought, I wonder, she's going to probably make some quite fast progress there if a lot of it's been accumulating. I mean, it might not have been accumulating from elsewhere.
Yeah,
but just the way I'd put the plan together, she was like, "That's high." I remember thinking, it's not. So I had a look.
Yeah, no, it's mad, isn't it?
So, yeah.
That kind of leads on to the next one, actually.
Ooh.
I feel like MyFitnessPal takes over my whole life and I'm scared to eat without it.
This is a question for Leah Hollinsworth because I don't think
Dan does not dabble with MyFitnessPal.
I don't mess about with MyFitnessPal. I don't think, as a person that ate food, I don't think I've ever really used it myself.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever used it is if I get a client that comes to me saying, I'm eating this much calories, this much thingy, and I need to actually work out exactly where their set point is. That's the only time I'll ever use it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, oh, did I just kick you? I did, didn't I?
No, yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
It's only my show.
Yeah, so this is, I feel like this comes up quite a lot, actually.
I can actually talk about it. I'm only joking, but yeah, go on.
So yeah, it does. It's when, I think when people have maybe spent a lot of time on it and not had periods of time.
People get anxiety without it.
Wait, yeah, they do.
Come away from it.
100%, because they feel like scared. Well, what if I don't track it? What's going to happen? What if I gain weight? Or, you know, things like that. So I think
you need to be careful with it, I think.
Yeah, it can become really obsessive.
I mean, I think it's helpful for definite because it teaches you what's in what, generally. I get clients come to me that obviously, as you know yourself, that have always done that. And then I'm like a meal plan guy, yeah?
Yeah.
And then they'll come to me and they'll go, and they'll say they're still tracking the food every day.
Yeah.
Even though it's a meal plan, they're still tracking the food every day. And I'm like, you don't need to do that because it's the same food every day.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then they're still doing it for like weeks and weeks. And then they slowly like seem to let go of it. And I always found that really crazy.
Yeah.
But the more I've gone on, like people get super addicted to that. And if they can't track something, they freak out and this and that. And like, this is where your expertise will step in way over mine because I've got no real experience with it. But that's what I always found. Yeah,
and I think the thing with that is like if you're spending every minute of your day thinking about what am I going to eat, and this is the thing with tracking it, like it can make you like overly fixated on it because obviously when you've got a meal plan or when you know what you eat and you don't really think about it.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of the thinking away because you're like, right, that's what I'm eating, and that's like you just crack on with your day. Whereas when you're tracking your food, if you're not tracking it in advance and you're not putting time aside to do it, you just get to the point where you're spending your whole life on MyFitnessPal. And it's like with anything, right? If you're doing it all the time, of course you're gonna get like hyper focused and fixated on it. So I just think if you're someone that's using MyFitnessPal at the minute and you're finding it's getting to that point, like I would say the first step is probably to just try and come away from like doing it as you go and just maybe sit down, and if you can spend maybe like half an hour just planning your food out for the whole week.
That's a good idea.
Because then once you've done it, you sit down, you're really focused on it for like half an hour, but then you literally don't have to think about it for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea.
And that's worked really well with clients because then it's like, yes, you might think about it for a bit, but you're not then always thinking, what am I going to have here? And, you know, we spoke
wedge stuff in.
Yeah, we spoke about this before where it like gets to 8 o'clock at night and you stood with the fridge door open trying to figure out, that's the
example I always use. And I didn't know if that was applicable to this conversation, but that's what I'll get people saying. They're like, and I'm stood there at 10 o'clock at night and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to get 12 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein because otherwise my day's not. And I'm like thinking that's worrying. Like, but that's a really good idea what you've said. And then I suppose if through the week they think, I don't fancy that now.
They can change things.
They can change it, but at least they're not then thinking and trying to do it on the spot, like you say. That's a good idea. Leah knows things about lifestyle coaching. She knows things. I don't know that much.
What I think helps with that as well is like slowly phasing it away.
Yeah.
So what I'll say to people that are really struggling, because if you've got someone that's really like focused on MyFitnessPal and they're terrified, you can't just take it away because they'll absolutely freak out.
Yeah.
So if you can just say, right, let's just start with maybe pre-planning the next 4 or 5 days in.
Yeah.
So it's done. And then maybe let's track you in so you maybe 200 or 300 under your calories, and then just tracking a bit of what you fancy on the day. So they've still got kind of like 3 calories, tracking it in. And then you've still got that. And then what we'll say is, right, on this day, let's just track maybe 2/3 of your calories. And then why don't you just go and have an evening meal, but have what you fancy and just try not tracking it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what I'll sometimes do if someone's really scared to like build the confidence up is I'll say, right, you can still track and weigh your food, but I want you to just like, before you actually eat the meal, like just put the food on the scales and kind of think in your head, right, how much do I think that is? Before you've actually checked it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they'll like eyeball it a bit. So then it gives them confidence.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, actually, like, I do know what a portion size is.
Yeah. Because that's part of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
And knowing what's in
they don't
what.
trust themselves.
Yeah. But I suppose after you've learned that, it probably takes people a few years of probably using that, and then they'll be better at it probably than I would. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I still can't do? Like, obviously I'm not bodybuilding now, so I don't weigh anything.
What?
But I still weigh oats. I can't gauge
Yeah,
oats.
oats is hard.
To save
you know
my
what
fucking
size
life.
bowl you've got? It could be different.
Exactly, yeah. And sometimes when I've knocked it out, I've been like, fuck me, this is a lot of oats.
Yeah.
I probably put about 300 grams of oats in there.
I always think that, you know, when I was younger, right, every day for breakfast, I used to have ready bread with loads of golden syrup in, like,
Really?
and milk. That was like my breakfast. And I think, God, I reckon I was having about 150 grams of ready bread for breakfast.
Needed it for your swimming.
I know. Well,
Yeah, so maybe leave oats till last.
but things like chicken and like stuff, you can.
Yeah, you know what a chicken
you can
breast
eyeball
is, or
that.
half a chicken breast,
Yeah.
or like a size of a potato,
Yeah.
or some rice, or whatever, and then like,
Yeah.
then maybe start just. Leah will tell you, but maybe then just eyeball that stuff and then just do it with the things that
Yeah.
are like packeted or whatever.
Yeah, and then if you want to give yourself a bit of reassurance, like eyeball it, and then just weigh it after to check it, because you'll give yourself a bit of confidence with it
Yeah,
as well.
like a game.
Yeah, and then eventually you'll get to the point where like, oh, actually, I know that's about right. I don't need to track that anymore.
Yeah,
And then just do it like a meal at a time rather than trying to go cold turkey on it, and that works really well.
yeah.
But
Good
yeah, it just
idea,
takes a
man.
bit of
Good
time.
question. Good idea.
Yeah. I want to work towards a photo shoot, but I'm really nervous. How would you advise to go about it? Message me.
Message Leah. No, I'm only joking. I've got Megan and Amy that do that as well. I don't know if I've ever done a photo shoot prep. Yeah, I have done photo shoot preps anyway.
I
what
love
I'm talking
photo shoot
about.
preps. They're like my favourite things ever.
Yeah, I don't get much inquiries about that, obviously. But that must be, whoa, is it getting a bit late in the day? There's
need
a
another
little
coffee?
yawn creeping my face, then yeah, I need some more coffee. What was the question? I'm worried about doing a photo shoot prep.
I'm really nervous. I think the key with that is just like, because when you've got an idea of doing a photo shoot, it can feel quite daunting and quite a big thing.
Do they mean the actual, like...
I think I want to work towards a photo shoot. I think they mean the process of like
Not being in front of the camera, you mean?
maybe a bit of that as well, but yeah, maybe both. Maybe like the process of getting in shape, but then also like actually being in front of a camera.
Yeah. I suppose it's the same as anything, really. I mean, dieting to get in shape, if you've never done it before, maybe do a diet for something else. Maybe that's not a photo shoot, but I don't see any reason to actually do that. I think like the photo shoot, it's just the same as out, innit? You just step outside your comfort zone. And if it's the photography you're worried about, it's like, I don't know what an example is. It's like being worried about going to see the dentist and showing him your teeth. Like, they see, this is what they do. They see photo shoots.
Yeah.
If you're not confident in your own self, like, there's no reason not to be, like, because you're not going to show the photographer anything he's not seen, and the photographer like, oh God, what's that person doing here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also I've a lot of the girls that I see are like so nervous about the posing because they're like, I don't know how to stand. But so many photographers, they'll literally put your arm in the right place. They will tell you where to look. Like they'll say, move your head here, move your hand here, look here, twist this way.
Yeah.
So they will literally like direct you one step at a time, because that's a lot of the things that I find the girls are really nervous about.
Yeah, because I suppose people aren't going to be used to doing all that.
No,
are they?
no one knows how to like pose or stand, do they?
No.
So that's kind of the main thing. But I think in terms of the actual prep itself, like if you just think, oh, I'm going to do a shoot, obviously it's going to be scary because you're like, well, how do I actually know I'm going to be ready?
Yeah, true.
But if you've got it mapped out and you've set like a time frame and you know exactly what you're doing, it becomes then a lot more like less scary, because you're like, right, well, I know I'm actually moving in the right direction and I'm working towards it.
I suppose if you've got someone to use that you're coaching with or whatever as well, that's telling you what to do, then they'll tell you anyways. And like, I'm sure it's not a load of hassle to push a shoot back, I'm assuming. Do you know what I mean? Just, can we have another 3 weeks? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and also it's like, if you just get a coach and obviously you can sort out the time frames and stuff, like you'll be absolutely fine because your coach is going to guide you through it week by week anyway.
Yeah, they should know what you want to be looking like at certain points, at 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, on the day, what you need to be doing on the day and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and they'll be able to guide you with like, you know, how to do the lead into the shoot and all that sort of stuff.
I've got someone doing a photo shoot this weekend.
Oh, have you? I don't do shoots.
I just remembered I don't do shoots. I've literally got someone doing one this weekend.
Yeah. I bet a lot of people do shoots off the back of like their shows though, don't they?
I got a girl that came to me and she was prepping for a show and she was X amount of weeks out from the show and she had a photo shoot in the middle, and I just kind of said, I won't do that show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not in the right spot to be doing that. She's done really well. She's come down actually. She's another one who lives a very very complicated job and difficult to navigate around. To be fair, when I took her on, I don't know if she watches this podcast or not, but she'll be about finding out. I was thinking, how the fucking else are you going to do that? Do you know what I mean? And like, fair play to her, she's done it. Like, she surprised me actually how she's managed to do it. But she's done it. And she actually looks pretty sick, just not going to be sure already, that's all, which is, I've only had her, not long, I ain't had her that long. I've got her in decent nick for the time that I've had her, really. So yeah, she's peaking for the photo shoot this weekend.
Exciting.
Yeah, so, yes, I do photo shoots then.
There we go, that's that.
Even if it's by accident.
Yeah. Okay. Is it normal for my hair to be falling out in prep? I'd noticed my hair's getting super thin.
Ooh.
I've seen this with a lot of girls that I follow on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, with their hair starting to like fall out because obviously they're so like
deficient.
Yeah, basically. I wouldn't say it's normal.
No, I definitely wouldn't say it's normal, and I don't think I've hardly ever experienced that, if I'm being honest, with clients. Maybe once or twice over the years with the odd thing here and there. Like, to be honest, my brain went straight to drugs, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Because
I think sometimes some people can be using drugs that they possibly shouldn't be using.
Yeah.
That makes your hair fall out. And that is something I've spoke to people about and know that people have done, and it's happened to them with certain things. So if that is the case, it might be some of the drug use that you're using, if you are using it at all.
What if she's natural? I think this girl that asked this is natural.
Yeah, why do you know what it is, dear?
Yeah, I know who it is.
I don't know, to be honest. It's maybe dieting too extremely by the sounds of it. I mean, doesn't sound good, does it? Yeah. I mean, the person could just be very sensitive to being pushed in that direction, but it might be a case of just
thing is though, she's not, if she
bit.
Needs to get leaner, it's like,
I know
it's hard, isn't it? Because you either push to get leaner but accept that, okay, that's maybe going to happen, or you don't push as hard but then you're probably not going to get as lean as you want.
Well, maybe take it in stages and pull back for a little bit, then carry on pushing again. Just try and chill it out. I don't know, actually, because I've not got... If I'd had loads of experience in that happening to me, I would have probably looked a hell of a lot further into it, and probably I would have a lot more answers because I'd have looked a lot further into it, but it's not something that's really happened to me before. I think it's happened once. But I don't think it was because of dieting too hard. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to have a look into that for next time.
Yeah, something to look at. Yeah, definitely.
How do you know when it's time for a deload?
You do not feel like going to the gym as much.
Low motivation.
Low motivation. I like the way you made it a cool phrase instead of me just saying you don't want to go to the gym as much. Low motivation. Struggling sleeping on a night often starts to occur. What's the other thing? Sometimes your appetite starts to get a bit knacked as well.
Not recovering very well.
It's usually them four things in it, really. That's usually what I'm looking for on people's check-ins.
Yeah.
Not fancying training as much. Your sleep starts to go a little bit to shit. Your appetite starts to get a little bit knocked, like downwards usually. And you're not recovering as well. I usually see fairly uniformed with the way I program anyways. It's always around about the 8 to 9 week mark. Yeah. It just that's for me anyway. I mean, everyone's programming is a little bit different. It usually vary somewhere between about 13 and sometimes up to 18 working sets.
Yeah.
If they're training 5 days a week, and that's working sets, like failure sets, usually the people that are training hard enough, they'll drop off between 8 and 9 weeks. And I think if they go longer than that, they're lying to me because they don't want to take the break.
Yeah.
It creeps up on you as well. A lot of people don't realise. So usually they'll get to 8-9 weeks, not usually. Sometimes they'll get to 8-9 weeks and they're showing telling me none of these symptoms. They're saying nothing. And then I'm like, you're having 3 days off the gym. And they go, all right. And then they check in next week and go, I didn't know I needed that.
Yeah.
But God, I feel miles better. Do you know what I mean?
I think because you're training so hard all the time as well, you're like...
Used to feeling battered.
You're just used to feeling a bit like fatigued all the time and a bit sore. So you just kind of think it's pretty normal.
Yeah. And then maybe not quite mastered their own... feelings and how they're feeling themselves, you know what I mean? I think that maybe takes a while as well. But yeah, it's generally about that time if they're training super hard.
Yeah. What would you say is different between yours and Dan's coaching?
Mine's divided. Lee's is undivided. Good question, actually, because I don't know your coaching. particularly.
Yeah.
Whereas you know man.
Yeah, I do.
What do you think?
I mean, I work with a lot more lifestyle clients than you do, or people that are maybe transitioning into like
Bodybuilding from lifestyle.
Yeah, bodybuilding from lifestyle. So I think generally they just need a bit more of like I know a lot of my clients, I couldn't just give them
what I do.
A plan, and I know that if I just left them for a week, they wouldn't do it.
She's trying to navigate without upsetting me.
No, but you know, like if you give me a plan, right? You tell me what to do.
I know what you're going to say, and I've got something to say about my clients in a minute, but I'll wait for you to slay me first. Go on.
I'm trying to do it in a way that doesn't sound bad.
I can see the cogs going round.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I'm trying to say this without offending Dan and making him look real bad. You just say whatever, because I know what I've got to say about my clients. My clients are fucking animals.
Yeah.
They are soldiers and they're animals, and they'll just delete through anything and just crack on.
Yeah, so if you give me a plan, I'll be like, great, I'll go off and I'll just crack on with it.
Because you're a soldier or an animal, one of the two.
Thanks. But like I'll have because of like a few of the girls that I coach, like they want to go out for a meal on a weekend, but they're in a diet phase, or they've got the best friend's wedding and they don't want to take meal prep, or things like that. Yeah. So then I'll end up talking to them a lot through the week about how to fit that in or how to change that or things that have cropped up.
Yeah.
So some of them just need a little bit more kind of guidance, I guess, along that sort of thing.
Yeah. So I didn't actually realise this until it's been pointed out a little bit to me this year, actually, by some of the other coaches. But apparently I seem to attract just hardcore, want to work hard, never complain, just up for it, like type of clients.
Yeah.
They never, like, I don't really hear from my clients through the week. I'm very, very surprised if I hear anything from anybody through the week.
Yeah.
They'll just check in with me on the check-in day and tell me what's been going on.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other coaches and with competitors, I mean, one of them was telling me like the other week, and he was like, they'll message like, oh, I'm on my period, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
The fuck?
But you know why I think that is, though? I think it's because you just say stuff how it is on your social media.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I never really thought about it because I just kind of thought all bodybuilders were like it. But some of the other coaches were telling me like their clients aren't like that.
Yeah.
If someone told me they were hungry because they're on the period in the middle of the week, but like, what the fuck do you want me to do about that? Do you know what I mean? What am I going to say about that?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And like, so apparently, and a few different people have told me now in the last few months like that I've just attracted these clients that, like I say, they're just soldiers, man. And but that's what I want anyways. I don't want willy-nilly like, oh, I'm a bit tired and like, like
people that are like fucking.
Yeah, tell your boyfriend like that's not. I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to do a bodybuilding. This is what bodybuilding is.
Yeah, well, if you look at like who you work with as well, it's like people that are serious about competing and their results.
I think you're all the opposite of what them clients is, because like you lot, the harder I push you, the happier you are.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
And I'm thinking, oh, it's getting a bit tight on these calories here, and they're like, can I have more cardio? Can I have more?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I've got all them type of clients, and I love that because you're up for it, and that's what you need to be with bodybuilding.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
If you want to be a millionaire and you want to do a bodybuilding, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing something else, really. But obviously, your lifestyle coaching, and that's like, you couldn't do that to a lifestyle client. They'd be like, I wouldn't want to do that to a lifestyle client. That's not, like, I want to get lean to go on holding, and they're like. And I'm like, right, let's fucking... It's not, just not the same. No, it's not a vibe, is it? It's not a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I still like working with people that are like driven and self-motivated and want to push themselves. But I think it's just more, a lot of the girls just need a bit more education around, this is how you manage it. Like, this is why you feel this way, because they don't have that level of understanding.
What I'm talking about doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, not anyone, that's exactly the wrong thing to say. Like, if you was a robot and you was like, eat this amount of chicken and rice, do this amount of cardio, move that much, say nothing else, everybody would be in shape.
Yeah.
It's obviously not that simple, which is why there's a place for lifestyle coaching, which is where there's a place for mindset coaching and all these other things that have cropped up from it or whatever it is. But bodybuilders aren't like that.
Yeah.
And I think it just goes down to like... And I love that. I love my clients. I love the way they are, and obviously maybe that is why they come to me to start with, because that's the way I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think it all comes down to that with all the like we've spoke about this before, like with the way we coach. So you've got like website, meals, like it looks real like you've got all this stuff for your clients. I don't have any of that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even have an app. I don't have this. I don't
Yeah.
have that. Because my clients just want to be told what to fucking
Yeah.
do. Like, go eat that, go do that, come back to me next
Yeah.
week. That's all a real bodybuilder wants. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Whereas lifestyle client, that's no good for them. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and like I like doing like
that's not a that's
like the group calls and like
Yeah,
the
they
education
need-
stuff.
that's
like,
why they're with you. That's why they've come to you, because
Yeah.
they need that, and they need like meal ideas, and they need this and that, and that's exactly what they need, and then
Yeah.
that's exactly why you give them that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't do that because I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I just want to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, and then by the way, I'm not saying that because you've got that, it doesn't work on bodybuilders, because obviously, like,
Yeah, no, I
you
get
can
what
still
you mean,
use all
yeah.
that stuff for the
Yeah.
bodybuilders. I'm not saying that, but 'cause I was talking about it the other day, funnily enough, just to someone else, and like, yeah, I've just never gone down. It don't need to be snazzy for me.
Yeah.
Eat this, do that, come
Yeah.
back, and it works.
Well, it does work, doesn't it? So-
Yeah, I've been trying to change it. It's just a way of, all that stuff is just a way of delivering information.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if people are paying for a good service with lifestyle coaching, they need it to be. It needs
Yeah.
to be nice, and like obviously I've told you a million times how good I think all your stuff is. Like, it's class, but that's the difference, I suppose, between me and you.
Yeah.
I just look after a bunch of animals. I'm the zookeeper. But
Oh,
yeah,
God.
someone did point it out to me, and I was actually, do you know what? When they were saying it, I thought, that's class. I actually like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I always say it to you as well. Like you have like really, really good clients.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, and do you know what? I don't not know it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My clientele's class, and I
Yeah.
love that they're like that. And I think probably that all the others are like that makes the rest of them more like that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be like the whingy one,
Yeah.
or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any whingy clients.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of one. I can't think of one
Yeah.
whingy client. Cool, ain't it?
Yeah. That's great. Great place to be. There's a few more, but I don't know how long this has been. We can maybe answer the rest of them on our. We've done most of them, to be fair. Who's your favourite female Olympian? That's what I got asked.
I don't even know any of them are. I don't really follow it, if I'm being honest. It's not. What about you? Do you know?
This is a really cliche answer, but I just think, you know, Sydney Gillen, the Miss Olympia,
So-
her posing and just the way she like.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a massive fan of. Like, I look at a lot of Olympians and I'm like, I don't want to look like that. But I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, she just looks amazing.
Yeah, she's still very beautiful and everything as well,
Yeah.
isn't she? Like, so I know this is going to sound like I'm fucking don't know what I'm on about, but there's a few of them at the Olympia, them top ones like that one, and there's a couple of other black girls that used to do it as well. That are like not similar
like
to where,
figure?
yeah, and the three of them used to be competing quite
Yeah.
hard with each other at the top, along with the one that always used to win it. I can't remember. I honestly, I literally pay no attention to it. It's not in my realm of world of what I'm up to. I can name pretty much every like PCA, this
Yeah.
or girl, or like even inside the British circuit. I know who does the IFBB and all that, but I pay no real attention to the Olympia stuff. I don't think I could name a bikini girl at the Olympia. I don't think. I'd know him if you. Is
Yeah,
that
if
Ashley
you, like, looked at
Coltswaltzer
them.
or whatever she is? That's been about
Yeah.
for years, and that does all the shows. Obviously, I still follow the men's though.
Yeah.
I still keep up to date with the men's. I couldn't name one wellness one, but I'm very
No
UK.
fibs.
I'm very UK circuit based.
Focused on what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm focused on what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Final question. How do you decide between increasing base food or increasing free calories?
That's a good one. That's probably more for me in the meal plan with the free calories, yeah. I'm assuming. So what I usually kind of do is when I'm setting with somebody's plans is once we start getting above, there's no set rule for it, but once we get to a reputable amount of food for the meal plan, which is looking around about the 2,000 mark
Yeah.
usually, 1,800 to 2,000, then I'll put free calories on top of that, which will usually start about 200.
Yeah.
And then at any point after that, it depends on the client a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be depending on like, do they need a bit more flexibility?
If I think
or-
it's someone who needs a bit more flexibility,
Yeah.
I'll usually go down the free calories a little bit more first. And obviously, I always do say like you don't have to use that on junk. You can use it on.
Yeah.
But as long as I feel like the base is nicely covered,
Yeah.
then I don't mind adding the free calories onto it. And then
Yeah.
what I'm looking at when I'm building people's plans is how much food I'm putting in, and then free calories, and how much I want it to be acceptable through the stomach. So, like, you'll never see me. I don't think I've ever done, or maybe it was some like huge person girl or whatever. You'll never see me go above like 125 grams of like cooked rice or 250 potato per meal.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to start going above like get a full bag of rice.
Yeah.
I don't want to start going down that. So I'll always try and like you're listening to this now thinking, oh, this is what he's done to me.
Yeah,
probably.
I was thinking that. I was like, I always think that actually.
I'll never really go above 100 grams of oats.
Yeah.
I'll never really go above 125 rice / 250 potato, which is round about the same. And obviously the oats is usually on either end of the day. The potatoes and rice is through the meals, because that's to you guys at your size with like your stomachs, that's digestible quite easily. And then I'll start adding, well, not with Leah. She could probably.
I'm just started thinking I could definitely eat a whole bag of rice.
12 grams of potato. But the thing is, how long for?
Yeah, true.
And that's the problem, because how long is what I'm looking at trying to do with you all.
You don't want someone's appetite to die off, do you?
I'm trying to build people's calories without getting them fat too quickly, without killing off their appetite. So my job is to not get people too fat too quick and not murder their appetite. And that way the off season goes as long as possible.
Yeah.
So when you'll see me build the plans, what you'll start noticing is as I'm going week to week, I'll be adding in like extra chocolate or peanut butter either end of the day.
The stuff that's like easy calories, basically.
Because it goes in without your body even noticing and it's digesting it. So yeah, easy calories. Then I'll start adding nuts in certain places because they're quite high calories for what they are. Or maybe a little bit of oils on top of people's foods and this and that, like almond oil or avocado oil or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Avocado oil, I meant to say. Or whatever it is, or extra virgin olive oil. And then, so as that's coming up, the free calories are coming up. I never go above 500 free calories a day anyway. How much junk food do you want to put into a plan? So even if someone's up at 4,000 calories, quite a lot of the time, it doesn't look like that much on the plan, because it's not like, fuck me, I'm just shoveling through rice after rice after rice. Because you might want to eat 250 grams of rice, but do you want to do that 3 times a day?
Yeah, I know what you mean,
Do you know what I mean? Or would you rather have it from here or there, or I'll start adding fresh orange juice in and
like easy carbs.
Yeah, basically. Things that are just, because once you've got all your bases covered, like how much of it needs to be from that whole food, do you know what I mean? So that's usually how I'm trying to strategize it.
Yeah, you just don't want to be, I guess, like adding in free calories before their food is at a good level, and then because I guess most people when they get free calories will use it on
they'll generally
use
it on like less
Yeah.
good, like processed foods usually,
Yeah.
and things that not amazing for muscle building, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's there to keep them sane. It's not there for any other reason apart from people sane. So that's what I'm usually looking at. So I usually start around about the 2,000 mark with 200 of it from being from free calories. And then I'll just kind of peck at it until I
just
get it
slowly build it up a bit.
Then when they get to the end of, before they're ready to start dieting, the free calories are up at 500. They're eating all this and that. They've got all nuts, chocolate, peanut butters, oils, all these little things in here like this. So then when I go ragging it away, free calories gone, get all the oils out, reduce all the peanut butters and chocolates and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, like, the calories have been pulled down a lot, but they don't feel that much more.
The base food, the bulk of the meal, what makes the meal is still there.
Yeah, so then when they start dieting, they're not that hungry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's thought that goes into these things. I ain't just randomly I'm not just randomly throwing shit at a wall, do you know what I mean? So in my mind, then when they pull it down, yes, they're down a lot on the calories, but they're not that hungry compared to if I had them like 150 grams of oats, 250 rice, 250 rice, 250 rice, 150 grams of oats, fucking bread and this and that, blah, 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 and all like that.
Yeah.
Then when I rag it down to where I want it, they're like, I'm fucking dying, do you know what I mean?
Because the actual food volume hasn't really come down.
There, and that's kind of the plan in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of our
tactical
to it. Yeah, so it allows them to stay more hungry through the off season whilst he's eating more calories. And then when we do come start dieting, the calories can come down quite dramatically to get us started without being that noticeable.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more to that question than I actually realised.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good answer. I like it.
Yeah, when I first read it, I thought, that's how I do it. Yeah.
Amazing. That's pretty much. I think there's a couple there, but that's pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we've done all right, haven't we?
Yeah, that was a good one.
I can have my fucking banana now.
Yeah.
Starving.
Now you've stopped recording.
Now I've ended it.
Yeah. Now you've answered all your questions.
She puts me back in the cage now. Until next month when we come back. That's why I've always got the same clothes on.
You've got your jog jeans on. Everyone loved the jog jeans.
Oh, I've got jog jeans.
I got so many. Oh,
Did you?
yeah,
I know.
show them on the
I've
YouTube.
had loads of shit about my jog jeans. I don't know if that camera can see me. Look how fucking stretchy them are. Jesus Christ. I can do whatever I want. These are jeans. There's nothing happening. There's nothing pulling down the back.
Bender.
Oh, I just sit down, I forget I've got jeans on until I stand up, then I walk by a mirror and I'm like, oh, they're jeans!
Who's this fashionable
I thought
guy?
I had tracksuits on. Oh, happy days. Goodbye.
Is that actually the end?
Oh, yeah, that's actually the end, yeah.